Electric cars are the future, and each year we've seen automakers add more EVs to their lineups. Everyone is working on electric vehicles, from well-established existing manufacturers to new names such as Lucid, Canoo, and Rivian. We've compiled a list of every electric vehicle, from concept to production, that isn't available yet but will be soon. 1. Acura ZDX, expected, early 2024. You may recognize the ZDX name from Acura's old coupe SUV model, but this time around the moniker adorns a mid-size crossover that becomes Acura's first EV when it arrives early next year. The 2024 ZDX rides on General Motors' Ultium battery platform, sharing components with the Cadillac Lyriq, and the 102.0 kWh battery will provide up to 325 miles of range. The 340 horsepower, single-motor, rear-wheel drive A-Spec model will be joined by a 500 horsepower, dual-motor, all-wheel drive Type S, which also wears upgraded brakes, adaptive dampers, and air suspension. The A-Spec should start around $60,000. 2. Alfa Romeo Giulia EV, expected, 2025. Alfa Romeo has confirmed the gas-powered Giulia will be revamped in the coming years, dropping its Ferrari-derived V6 in favor of an electric powertrain for 2025. We expect the base version will make around 350 horsepower, while the Veloce will produce closer to 800 horsepower. The top-of-the-line Giulia will continue to carry the historic Quadrifoglio name and should make upwards of 1,000 horsepower. The new Giulia will be produced on the Stellantis Group's STLA large platform, with 800-volt, ultra-rapid charging and a range of up to 500 miles. 3. Apple Titan EV, expected, 2026. iPod, iPhone, iPad, iCar? The rumored Apple car, codenamed Titan, has been in development for nearly a decade, and while its future has been put in doubt on numerous occasions, the latest murmurings suggest it will finally arrive in 2026. While Apple apparently abandoned plans for a full self-driving vehicle, the Apple car should still be capable of autonomous highway travel and will be built around a powerful onboard computer. The design hasn't been finalized, but Apple has reportedly moved away from a pod-like design for a more conventional shape. The tech giant is still searching for an automotive partner to supply the electric platform after talks with Hyundai fell through in 2021, and is said to be investing around $1 billion into Titan each year. Apple's not the only tech company considering an entry into the automotive market. Sony recently partnered with Honda on a new EV brand called Afeela, promising a similar product for 2026. 4. Audi A6 e-tron, expected, 2024. The Audi A6 e-tron is a concept for now, but Audi says it's super close to what the production car will look like. It's based on the scalable premium platform electric architecture that can be lengthened, lifted, and widened for a variety of different EV models. It will be sold alongside the gas-powered A6 and will join the PPE-based Q6 e-tron crossover in Audi's lineup. The A6 e-tron concept uses two electric motors with a combined output of 469 horsepower. All premium platform electric vehicles have 800-volt charging capability, and this big sedan could have as much as 400 miles of range on a single charge. 5. Audi Q6 e-tron, expected, 2024. Audi will expand its electric SUV lineup with the Q6 e-tron, slotting in between the Q4 and Q8 e-tron crossovers and riding on the same premium platform electric architecture that underpins the upcoming Porsche Macan EV. A roughly 93.0 kWh battery should provide up to 315 miles of range, and the 800-volt setup will allow for rapid recharging. The dual-motor all-wheel drive Q6 e-tron produces 375 horsepower, while a sportier SQ6 e-tron model ups that to 482 ponies, with a boost mode adding about 20 horsepower for each model. On a prototype test drive, we found a comfortable, well-controlled ride and punchy acceleration. Production begins next year, and the 2025 Q6 e-tron will sit alongside the gas-powered Q5 in Audi's lineup. 6. 5 Bentley models, expected, 2025. Bentley is planning a major pivot from 15 miles per gallon land yachts to completely new models with fully electric powertrains. Bentley says it will replace the existing Bentayga, Flying Spur, Continental GT Coupe and convertible, and introduce an all-new model to its lineup by 2030. The first replacement should arrive sometime in 2025. 7. BMW i5M, expected, 2026. Fender flares, a more aggressive stance, and 1136 horsepower will combine to produce the upcoming BMW i5M, which won't arrive before then 2026. The new high-performance 4-motor drivetrain will incorporate wheel-by-wheel torque vectoring and brake-by-motor energy regeneration, and will be capable of piloted drifting and tank turns where the vehicle can use its prodigious torque output to spin in place. While the more subdued i5 has already debuted, with its own set of high-performance batteries, active steering, and suspension fit for the Nürburgring, we can't help but keep our focus on the angrier i5M with a drive control unit that's being referred to internally as the hand of God. Take the wheel, Jesus. 8. Buick Electra, expected, 2024. Buick has revived the nameplate of the 18-foot-long steel sled from 1959 for its new all-electric SUV, that's already been revealed for China. The Electra E5 uses GM's Ultium battery platform and should be roughly the same size as a Chevrolet Equinox. An investigation into trademarks may have revealed Buick's future lineup, with filings for Electra E1 through E9. We expect the Electra E5 to perform similarly to the already available Cadillac Lyriq, with a range of 300 miles and 340 horsepower. Buick hopes to put its Tri-Shield logo atop a fully electric lineup by 2030, but we should see the first Electra sometime in 2024. 9. Cadillac Celestiq, expected, early 2024. Cadillac wants to return to the days when the company could call itself the standard of the world without getting scoffed at. At least that's the plan with the upcoming Celestiq, an extravagant EV that will be built by hand and cost upwards of $300,000. That price puts it out of reach for all but the wealthiest people, but Cadillac envisions the Celestiq as aspirational rather than attainable. For the 1% who can afford one of these avant-garde 600 horsepower electric hatchbacks, each example can be uniquely tailored to the customer's whims. Will it be enough to vault GM's luxury brand into the discussion with Bentley and Rolls-Royce? We'll have to wait and see once the Celestiq hits the streets of America's richest communities, likely at the start of 2024. 10. Cadillac Escalade IQ, expected, summer 2024. The Cadillac Escalade, the big, brash SUV that's proved popular among rappers like Jay-Z and 50 Cent, is undergo an electric transformation with the new Escalade IQ. With over 200 kilowatt-hours of capacity, the Ultium battery, shared with the GMC Hummer EV, provides an estimated 450 miles of range, while the dual-motor powertrain can provide up to 750 horsepower. The luxurious cabin is decked out with 55 inches of screen stretching across the entire dashboard and a 40-speaker sound system. The Escalade IQ will be offered with Super Cruise, General Motors hands-free driving system, and will start around $130,000. 11. Canoo pickup truck, expected, 2024. Canoo is an electric automotive startup from California, and this is its pickup. For now, it is simply called pickup truck. The Canoo pickup promises more than 500 horsepower and at least 200 miles of range. It's smaller than what's typically found in the midsize pickup segment, being 2 feet shorter than the Ford Ranger. Canoo says its pickup will be offered with a 6 to 8 foot pickup bed with pre-orders open right now, and production starting sometime in 2024. The U.S. Army is also testing a modified version of the pickup truck. 12. Canoo Lifestyle Vehicle, expected, 2024. Like Canoo's pickup, this 5 or 7-seat EV is built on a skateboard platform, similar to what BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Volkswagen use to easily swap body styles on similar underpinnings. Canoo claims this little bus will have a range of 200 miles and up to 350 horsepower, with a starting price under $40,000. A delivery van version has attracted 4,500 pre-orders from Walmart, while NASA has expressed interest in using the lifestyle vehicle for transport at the launch site for the upcoming Artemis moon landing missions. Canoo has faced financial difficulties of late, but hopes to get production started this year. 13. Chevrolet Equinox EV, expected, 2024. Last year Chevy sold 212,072 units of its Equinox crossover, beating the likes of the Ford Escape, Hyundai Tucson, and Subaru Forester. It hopes to continue this success with an Equinox EV that will start at $34,995 with deliveries beginning in 2024, although the base model won't arrive until later. The Equinox EV will offer a wide range of models starting with a base trim with 250 miles of range and 210 horsepower. More expensive trims offer up to 319 miles of range thanks to a larger battery pack, and dual-motor all-wheel drive cars have 290 horsepower. 14. Chevrolet Silverado EV, expected, 2024. Turns out the GMC Hummer EV and SUV were a little taste of what we'll see from Chevy's upcoming all-electric Silverado. They'll be built under the same roof, with the Silverado also using GM's Ultium battery pack and offering up to 400 miles on a single charge. The Silverado EV will be offered from a fleet-oriented work truck trim to fully loaded RST models with 664 horsepower. Deliveries should begin in 2024. 15. Chevrolet Bolt EV, expected, 2025. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Or, in the case of the Chevy Bolt, what does kill you makes you stronger. At least that's the outlook of General Motors CEO, who confirmed the little EV's revival in July. The Bolt will return for a second generation, and Chevrolet promised that the electric hatchback will continue to be a tech-centric, affordable option. We know the next-gen Bolt will ride on the Ultium platform and it should arrive for the 2025 model year. We don't know specifics yet, but we're sure the new version will exceed the current Bolt's EPA-estimated 259-mile range. 16. Chrysler Airflow Concept, expected, 2025. With the success of the Ford Mustang Mach-E in its crosshairs, Chrysler is planning a 400-mile crossover by 2025. The Airflow is just a concept, but the model is claimed to also offer Level 3 autonomous driving capability. The brand, which currently offers the Pacific minivan and Chrysler 300 sedan, plans to go fully electric by 2028. 17. Dodge Charger Daytona SRT EV, expected, 2024. Dodge is determined to keep the muscle car relevant well into the electric epoch, and it's given us quite the preview before its internal combustion analog has even left the dealership floor. The Dodge Charger Daytona SRT concept runs on an 800-volt electrical architecture called Banshee, and while performance details are still incredibly light, the automaker promises that its first beefcake EV will surpass the Hellcat's performance. A multi-speed transmission hopes to keep some of the muscle car's visceral nature alive, but the most interesting tech by far is the Fretsonic exhaust system, which uses actual piping to boost the EV's sound to a 126 decibel onslaught. 18. Deus Vayanne, expected, 2025. While Austrian startup Deus is a complete unknown, the company has recruited proven partners for its first vehicle, the electric Vayanne hypercar. The curvy bodywork was penned by Italdesign, while Williams Advanced Engineering has been tasked with developing the 2,200 horsepower powertrain. The company claims that with 1,475 pound-feet of torque, the Vayanne launches to 62 miles per hour in 1.99 seconds and on to a 248-mile top speed. We'll believe it when we see it. Just 99 units are planned for production, with Deus aiming to start deliveries in 2025. 19. Fisker Pear, expected, 2025. Fisker aims to conquer the entry-level EV market when it launches the Pear crossover in 2025. The starting prices is targeted at $29,900, and the small SUV will offer rear and all-wheel drive specifications with 2 battery options. Claimed range will be between 180 and 320 miles on the European test cycle. Expect slightly lower estimates from the EPA. Fisker says the base model will hit 60 miles per hour in a 6.3 seconds, while an extreme model will further boost performance. Inside, an available front bench seat sits behind an optional 17.1-inch rotating display. Instead of a traditional trunk, the lift gate retracts into the bumper. Fisker previously suggested that the Pear could be built under contract by Foxconn at the Lordstown Assembly Plant in Ohio. 20. Fisker Alaska, expected, 2025. Fisker plans to follow up the Ocean crossover by bursting into the pickup truck market with the sharp-looking Alaska. Roughly the same size as a Rivian R1T, Fisker aims to sell the Alaska starting at just $45,400 when production kicks off in 2025. Fisker predicts a 230-mile range with a 75.0 kilowatt-hour battery, while the 113.0 kilowatt-hour unit will return a claimed 340 miles. Dual and single motor setups are expected, with acceleration estimated between 3.9 and 7.2 seconds depending on the model. The Alaska's party piece is a divider behind the rear seats that electronically retracts, extending the 4.5-foot-long bed to 7.5 feet, or a maximum length of 9.2 feet with the rear seats folded flat. More details should arrive next year, and Fisker says the Alaska will be built in the U.S.